Welcome to the new Rapids Archery Volunteer Scheduling Program. The program can be found at mnrapidsarchery.org. All data that you have entered in the previous program will be automatically transferred into this new program. By now you should also have received a login name with your password, and after entering that you can sign in. Should you forget your password, there is a forgot password hyperlink that you can click and follow the instruction, and the new password will be issued to you. After entering your username and password, you sign in and you will arrive at the welcome screen. The welcome screen is divided in 4 sections. The upper left one provides you with some information about the hours you have worked, the hours you have signed up for, as well as the remaining hours that you need to work. On the lower part you will find your contact information in case there are changes, telephone number, email, or whatsoever. Please enter this because this is the information the club keeps on record to keep you informed what is happening with the club. On the right hand side you find a couple of quick action buttons: signing up for task, reviewing your task, as well as logging the hours. And in the lower section you will find member info, meaning who are your board members, contact information of the board members, hours required, as well as hours signed up and actual hours worked. You can access the sign up for task either by the quick action or on the left hand side by clicking on volunteers. And let's say we're going to sign up for some task. This brings us to the task sign up screen. All the major events are listed in the first column. The second column describes what kind of task, the nature of the task, and the third column whether these are low medium, or medium to high effort, or in the first column, the fourth column, indoor or outdoor tasks. It is important to remember that you do need to make a selection in each of these columns. In case you do need some information about what these types of work or volunteer activities are, go to the upper right corner, click on Task Description, and that brings you to an overview of what administrative tasks we have: coordinating tasks, instructional tasks, maintenance tasks, etc. The lower part of the screen gives a little bit more information about the description of the task as well as the requirements. This is a good page to review in case you're in doubt and don't know what to sign up for. The home button, also in the upper right, always brings you back to the welcome screen. Let's go back and sign up for some tasks. As we said before, you do need to make a selection in each of the 4 columns. Let's select an event or 2 events. If you're unsure about which task type you like to select, you can select all of the above. Same here, same here. And the next step is now to search for tasks that match the profile that you've selected. For that, go to the lower part, click on Filter and search for the task below. The program will now, after scrolling down, will return a list of tasks that match your criteria. The upper part provides a little bit of instruction, and the selection after reviewing which tasks are available is done by clicking on the Check to Assign button. And just for the purpose of demo, I'm clicking on several of them, but be mindful to review the task before you start making a selection and finalize the selection. To sign up now, click on the Sign Up for Check Tasks, and that brings you back to the welcome screen. As you can see, I have now signed up for 8 hours, and that's also depicted here. I have not worked any hours. And the next step will be to review the hours or the task that I've signed up for. And again, I can do this here with this quick action, or I can use the review my volunteer tasks. And this brings me to the overview. These are the events that I have signed up for. Obviously these events are all in the future, so I cannot log hours as of yet. The logging of hours only happens when the task is completed, so as such the day after the task is completed. You can email this list, you can print this list, or in case there is a conflict you can click the Edit Task, and that gives you the contact information of our volunteer coordinator. Click on this and that will open an email, and you can put your request for change to the volunteer coordinator. A new feature of this program is that email task reminders will be sent weekly. You can unclick this here, but we recommend you leave this, and then on Monday of each week, the task in the following week will be sent to you as a reminder for what you have signed up for. Most tasks that are in the schedule are tasks with a date and a time by which you are expected to perform those tasks. On occasion, and let's sign up for some more tasks and select all of the above, which returns all 650 tasks that we have available. But for the purpose of this demo, I'd like to show that some tasks indeed show a flex date, flex time. And that means that you can do those activities at any given point in time. And for the purpose of this demonstration, I'll select this. Scrolling down to the bottom, I will sign up for this. Now returned to my task review. And the task review now show indeed that I've signed up for managing vendors as a vendor liaison. And since this task is flexible, not bound by a time, I can actually log my hours. The task was planned for 10 hours. Let's assume I have completed that. It took me 9.5 hours. Now, in order to get credit for those hours, you do need to log those hours by clicking this submit button. If you forget to click the submit button, you will never get credit for your hours. So I click and go back to the home screen. And indeed, I have, it shows here, I have worked 9.5 hours. And that's also reported in this little graphical display. In the rare occasion that you're asked to perform a task that is not in the scheduled database, you can go and click on Add Unscheduled Activity. That brings you to a screen where you can enter what that unscheduled activity is. And so you can, let's say I cleaned the windows, and it took me 0.5 hours. The task role is a scroll down, and I did this as a low-duty event supporter. Minimal training was required, but it was actually a medium-high task, and it was an outdoor activity. Again, as with logging your hours, you also here have to submit this unscheduled task. And after submitting it, it brings you back to the welcome screen, and at the welcome screen you see that I have received credit for that additional half hours that I have worked. Most of us will only use the volunteer functions. On occasion, if you sign up for coordinating tasks, you also will become event coordinator. An event coordinator is a shoot captain, a concession manager, etc. Let's sign up for a coordinating task, and let's say I want to participate in a spring cleanup as a event coordinator, indoor or outdoor, doesn't matter. I search for this task and select to prepare or to captain the repair on the A-loop. I select this task, I submit my selection, and now I'm signed up as a event coordinator. Let's first check where this task ended up in my task review, and it's right here. It's in the future. Hours are not yet logged. So now I can go under Event Coordinator and review this event. Since I only signed up for one coordinating task, I click on this Spring Cleanup and see all the tasks that are basically where people have signed up for. The task descriptions, the task roles, the times, and who has signed up for. Now it is important to remember that the Event Coordinator does need to enter the hours after the event in case that the volunteer has forgotten it, or in case the volunteer has entered the wrong information. So here is a opportunity to correct the wrong entry or if somebody has forgotten it by entering the hours here, update the task, and then submit. And that concludes the overview of the volunteer registration program. There's one function left, and that's for the volunteer coordinator, but that function is only accessible by the membership secretary and the volunteer coordinator. Thanks for listening, and if you have some questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.